4 million views gone overnight. That's what happened to Sarah when TikTok suddenly vanished from her phone earlier today. But here's what they don't want you to know about the ban. With over 170 million Americans potentially losing access to their favorite platforms, creators everywhere are asking, is this the end of my digital business? But what if I told you this ban, or what happened earlier today, could be the best thing that ever happened to you for your online presence? This video is for you if you are feeling lost, powerless, and uncertain about your online presence because of the situation with TikTok today. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to turn this challenge into your biggest opportunity yet. I'm going to share 5 proven strategies that will help you not just survive, but thrive in this digital shift, including one method that helped my client triple her income after losing her main platform. Stay until the end because I'm going to share a breakthrough technique that most creators overlook when building their online presence. Save this video for later and be sure to subscribe and ring that bell so that you don't miss my next episode. Hello, I'm Dr. RB. I'm a licensed psychologist in Florida and New York. If you've been with me before on my channel, welcome back. And if you're new here, on this channel, I bridge together many topics that I find interesting, from depth psychology, ancient wisdom traditions, to spirituality, human design, astrology, various therapeutic techniques. All of this is to help you create a unique approach to healing and growth. My mission is to help you connect deeply with your authentic self and divine guidance while navigating our rapidly changing world. Let's dive deep into what's really happening here. The TikTok ban, as some of you probably already are aware, it's not just about losing an app. It's certainly not about national security. It's about something much more profound. I built my whole business here. My community, they're like family. This was my creative outlet. Thanks to TikTok, my life and the lives of my family has changed. What now? Do we go back to those pre-TikTok days? These are creators, and this is what they're saying and asking. What now? Let me break down the 3 main fears I'm hearing from creators. Number 1 is the fear of losing their audience and having to start all over again. Number 2, the anxiety about losing their income stream and their business stability. And number 3, the deep-seated worry about losing their creative outlet and means of self-expression. But here is what's fascinating. Now, this is from a psychological perspective, of course. These fears aren't actually only about TikTok. They're much deeper than that. They're about our fundamental need for connection, security, and self-expression. Now let's get into that. Now let's talk about what today's TikTok event really gave us and why its potential loss feels so threatening. TikTok revolutionized content by making virality more accessible than ever before, creating a space where authentic content outperformed polished production, building communities around niche interests, and allowing creators to monetize quickly. But here's what's most important that people just don't realize. These aren't TikTok innovations. They're human needs that TikTok simply tapped into very effectively. Now, let me share something fascinating. When we look at the most successful creators across any platform, they all share 3 elements, and this is important to know. 1, authentic storytelling. 2, consistent community engagement and community building. 3, value-driven content. Now, these elements aren't platform dependent, but they're certainly platform proof. let me share a story that changed how I view platform dependency forever. Let's meet Jessica, one of my clients. I changed her name, of course, for privacy. She had over 200,000 followers on Instagram and was making a very good, comfortable six-figure income. Then disaster struck. The account was permanently banned due to a false flag. There was no warning, no appeal process. Everything she built was gone in an instant. Just sent chills up my spine when I first heard it. But what happened next was really remarkable. Instead of trying to rebuild on just one platform, Jessica did something different. She implemented what I call a digital sovereignty strategy. The first thing she did was platform diversification. She spread her presence across multiple platforms, not just one. Number two, she began to own or have ownership over her community. What does that even mean? What it means is that she was able to build an email list and a private community. Why is this important and what does this have to do with ownership? Because if the platform closes up, like what happened with TikTok today, you have their contact information, you have emails, and you can reach out to your community, and that way you stay connected. You don't need the platform for the connection. Now, a lot of people on TikTok, they do not have an email list, and that's the part that's scary. You don't, I don't want to say own, but you don't have control over that connection that you have with your community. It's your community because you built it and people came and you provided value and it grew and grew and grew. But if you don't have any way of controlling the connection, then if something happens, the connection is lost forever, basically, unless they find you in another app, which that's why it's important to diversify. Number three is content repurposing. She created a system to adapt to different platforms so she could adapt her content to different platforms. She also believed in a value first approach, which is my belief as well. She focused on solving problems and not chasing trends. And the last one is personal brand building. She made her personality, not the platform, the star. Okay, so that's important. Within 6 months of her doing this, of implementing this, she had a thriving presence across 3 platforms. She had a loyalty email list of over 50,000 subscribers, and she tripled her previous income. She also had more creative freedom than ever before, especially knowing that if a ban happened again, she still had a way to reach out and connect with her community through the email list. So now we're going to break it down into how to implement these strategies. So the first thing you want to do is you want to have a platform audit. You want to list all your current platforms that you are building your community. You want to analyze where your most engaged followers are, and you want to identify any gaps in the platform. Now, you also want to build your content matrix, and you want to create core content pieces and adapt them to each platform. And then you also want to schedule regular content reviews. Okay. A third thing you want to do is you want to develop your community migration plan, and you do that by collecting email addresses up front, and you create a backup communication channel like a newsletter, emails, and you plan engagement strategies for new platforms. Now, some of these things, they sound like no-brainer, but this is almost like a reminder because we forget about them until we have, a lapse of, I don't know how many hours that TikTok was gone. And I want to just tell you, it wasn't only gone in the US. A lot of people around the world had issues with getting into their TikTok accounts, even if they were in Europe or other places. So the TikTok ban isn't killing your personal power, even though it feels like it. It's giving you really an opportunity to reclaim that power. So remember something. True influence isn't about followers, it's about impact. And impact can happen anywhere. It's the impact that you make. So think of this moment this morning on a nice Sunday morning where I'm going to just sign on to TikTok, and it was closed. Out. It was not letting you in. Think of this moment not as an ending, but as a chance to build something more resilient and more authentic and more powerful than ever before. And yes, I know that in the afternoon, US East Coast time, it came back. I also saw the CEO of TikTok not really praising the Orange Man and the incoming supposedly administration for being back live, but almost. And I just want to say that it's a wake up call. Let's call it that. It's a wake up call for you to realize that you are not a pawn that others can play with on a big chessboard, because that's exactly what it felt like. And if you don't have plans in place, that's the only way you're going to be able to maintain connection with your audience, if you have a plan in place. So if you're ready to take back your digital power, I want you to drop in the comments below a muscle, that muscle emoji. Drop it in the comments below. I want you to also share your biggest takeaway from this video. I personally read and respond to every comment, so please do that. And don't forget to click the link in the comments and then write free guide in the comments, and I will get you the Creators Digital Sovereignty Playbook that I walk step by step with my client. And it's a checklist where you could just simply step by step implement a planned strategy. So again, just a reminder, hit the subscribe and the bell so that you know when my next video will be released. Thank you for spending some time with me today on a Sunday. And I just want to say that until next time, search within where all your power and your answers lie.